I went through some really bad depression. There were days I felt like I couldn't get out of bed. I had a manic episode from my divorce, and then my mom passed away right after. All I had at the end of the day were my friends, sat in the hospital and watched Matt Rife videos, and that was how I got into comedy.
Jennifer Reeves, what's happening?
Hello, how are you?
Doing good. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
You've been doing a lot of cool things here lately. You're a year into comedy. You're hosting now. Tell me a little bit about that.
Compared to where I was a year ago when you met me when I had just started out. I was just doing open mics back then, and now I guest spot for headliners and host for bigger headliners. And actually, I am doing a show with Sterling Scott next weekend, and then the weekend after, Aaron Belial, who I'm so excited to meet. I'm actually excited to meet both of them.
Very fun. Is Aaron from Canada too?
I believe he's from Toronto.
Okay. So, I just was realizing, I was contemplating this. A lot of my favorite comedians from growing up came from Canada because, like, you got John Candy up there, you got Rick Moranis, you got Tom Green, Harlan Williams came from there, Howie Mandel. Now Jennifer Reeves. What are we doing here?
Right now,
Yeah,
I am just trying to make my way up the ladder and get better spots and get my name out there and build an audience
I like it.
all over the place other than just Calgary.
Definitely. Calgary. They made a movie about that one time. Yeah, that's irrelevant. Anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about you and your journey and how you came from rock bottom to where you are now. So, why don't you take us through that story? Start at the beginning and just work your way through it.
Okay, well, first of all, I would like to dedicate this episode to all the ladies out there that are going through a hard time. I basically just went through the worst year of my life. I went through a divorce of 15 years. I was at my complete rock bottom. And I just want to send a positive message to all the females out there because everybody goes through stuff. I just want to say, like, ladies, get your girlfriends on board and have your girlfriends support you, because if it wasn't for my girlfriends and my one very good friend, Chris, I don't think I would have got through everything, because there were days where I didn't want to get out of bed. Like, I was with my ex-husband for 15 years, which is almost half my life, which is crazy. And he was my best friend, my everything, and it just gone one day. And so I just want to say to all the ladies to really depend on each other and have each other's back. We are all that we have, you know?
So, whenever you were faced with divorce, did you see that coming at all, or did that come out of nowhere?
No, obviously every marriage has issues and no marriage is perfect, but at the end of the day, you can't be the right person for the wrong person, and there's always going to be a right person for the right person. And that's what I had to realize. You can't force someone to love you, and you can't force someone to want to be with you. And we just wanted different things. Like, he wanted a successful businesswoman because he does well for himself, and he wanted someone younger, and he wanted someone skinnier. And so for me, I just felt like, wow, like I felt like shit for the last year, and I felt like I wasn't good enough. And I have ADHD, and I'm not book smart. I'm never going to be a doctor. I'm never going to be some big, high, successful businesswoman. And, unfortunately, that's what he wanted. And so I was like, all right, you can't really force someone to want to be with you. So I was like, go get what you need to get. And then I moved out, and I went through some really bad depression. And there were days I felt like I couldn't get out of bed. And like I said, all I had at the end of the day were my friends and my close girlfriends and my friend Chris. And I went through my rock bottom with being in the hospital. I had a manic episode, and that's how I got into comedy. I was at my rock bottom, and was in the hospital for almost 2 months having a manic episode due to the stress from not sleeping from my divorce, because that's the number one cause of a manic episode is divorce. And then my mom passed away right after. And so I literally was at my rock bottom and just sat in the hospital and watched Matt Rife videos. And that was how I got into comedy. I just sat in the hospital with depression and watched his videos one after another for 8 months. And then I remember hearing a clip that most comedians have ADHD. And that's when the light bulb went off and was like, hey, like I have ADHD. I don't mind talking in front of people. So that's what I was like, okay, well, what do I have to lose? I've got no husband. I've got nobody. I can only build myself up because at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. And so it was hard. It took everything out of me, but I just, when you're at your rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but except for going up,
That's it.
you
Yeah.
know? And so my friend Chris, who helped me and was there for me through my darkest days, he's the manager of a bar. He just was like, we do Family Feud on Tuesdays. Why don't you come host it and you can do a couple minutes on stage? So I did. And I liked how the audience clapped and I liked the feeling of it. And I liked the feeling of making people laugh. And that's what I did for my first time on stage. And it's actually on my YouTube channel. Yeah.
So how old was your mom when she passed?
She would have been, I believe, 67.
Okay. So I mean, pretty young still. That all of that happening together can't be easy.
Oh, it was hard.
Yeah.
It's like everything always happens at once. Like everything is just like boom, 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 you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But now compared to a year ago, I'm in a completely different situation. I'm in a completely different mindset. I'm going to the gym 5 days a week. I don't drink because at the beginning, when I started doing stand up, I had to have drinks. And because I was going through my depression and my divorce and
Yeah.
just was not in a good headspace. And I was nervous to start comedy. So I would have shots and stuff before I went on stage. And now I can do it without calming my nerves.
Yeah.
So I haven't really drank since August and I can go up in front of 350 people dead sober. So now I just do stand up and I go to the gym and I'm just focusing on my mental health and just getting better at stand up and just working my way up the ladder.
Yeah. So you told me before we started that you kind of wanted this to be for the ladies that are going through it, right?
Absolutely.
So talk a little bit more about your time in the hospital and maybe someone might be dealing with a situation like that. You know, I know that you want to be there for those people. So give them, what would you say to them?
I got through my darkest days watching Matt Rife videos in the hospital, and it got me out of my depression. And I was able to laugh with the little bit of energy I had left in me. And it really put me in a good like headspace and it really helped me get through my darkest days, just that little bit of laughter. And so what I would like to do is when someone is at their rock bottom, if I can just make them feel just a little bit better like what he did for me, I'm a very happy woman.
So you've changed from rock bottom, having mental health crisis, to where you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Things are just spiraling out of control, and that's the way it feels whenever you're in that moment. Whether that's reality or not, that's the way it feels to us when we're in that moment.
Oh, I thought my life was over.
Yeah. So what did you put in place to get to where you are now?
Honestly, time heals people. And I think everything really hit me. I remember in August, I texted my ex husband and I was like, hey, like, I'm really not doing good. I'm at my rock bottom. I think I need to go back to the hospital. And he didn't even reply to my message. He read it, didn't reply. And I was like, you know what? I need to just get up, change my mindset. Because when someone doesn't care that much after you're with them for 15 years, that's when I changed my mindset. I was like, you know what? You can care that little to where I'm telling you, I think I need to go back to the hospital, and you can't even reply to me that's when I was like, okay, I need to do this on my own and be there for myself. And I have only myself to get through this. And I mean that little to you. That's when I changed my mindset and I stopped being depressed because I was crying every night, just about. Like first thing in the morning, I would think about it. It was the last thing at night I would think about it. And I noticed that as soon as I stopped dwelling on how sad and depressed I was, and as soon as I changed my mindset and not being sad and really focused on myself, because for the first time I actually loved myself and I wasn't looking for validation out of him, because for 6 months I was trying to look for validation out of him. I remember sending him a message, I'm 6 months in doing stand up, I'm on a flyer, and nothing. It'd be like, cool.
You're waiting for him to be like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm proud that you're doing something like that."
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'd be like, I'm doing a festival. Neat. Just no care in the world. And then I was like, you know what? Stop looking for validation out of someone who doesn't care, and love yourself and do it yourself. And so now, because before I always had a boyfriend, I always had somebody, and I needed validation for someone to be with me. And I don't know, my biggest fear was to be by myself. But now I'm like, my biggest fear was to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, I'm okay to be alone, because really, the only person that gives a fuck about you is yourself.
I'm still listening, but I want to show you something. I don't know. Have you looked back at the artwork on the first episode where you were on?
No.
Okay, let me show it to you. I gotta pull it up. It needs to be recreated for your first comedy special, because what you're telling me right now just fits, and I didn't plan it that way. It just happened. Obviously, this is AI, so it doesn't look exactly like you, but you should do this with a silhouette of a guy laying on his back, sprawled out, with your foot on top of his belly, and that could represent him.
Yeah.
Whenever you've made it, and he's like, now, like, look at where I am now.
Yeah, because like I said, he wanted someone different, wanted I wasn't good enough, and he wanted a successful businesswoman. And like, I just work at the hospital. Like, I don't make much money, but I never believed in myself. And now I'm like, I actually do believe in myself. And it took me almost a year to realize that,
Yeah,
which is so
but
crazy
it's empowering,
because
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to inspire other women that, hey, if your partner thinks you're not good enough, bye. Because at the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself. Like I said, it took me a year to figure that out because, yeah, I have ADHD. I'm never going to be a doctor. I wasn't book
You
smart.
wouldn't even
And
give
you know
me any
what?
notes on what we were going to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. And I just want all the ladies out there to be like, don't rely on a man. You are good enough. Don't let someone knock you down so much to the point where you think you're nothing, because, baby girl, you are. Like, get up, believe in yourself. Because when I changed my mindset, when my ex couldn't even reply to me when I was at my rock bottom, and now I started believing in myself. I get more views on all my videos. I've just been doing better. I've been doing better mentally, like everything. And all this cool stuff has been happening. I just had just by changing your mindset and changing how you think about everything and not dwelling on negative stuff that you can't fix. Focus on yourself. You can get out of depression. You can get out of a certain mindset. And I just want to be there for all the ladies, and this is going to be personal. The gloves are coming off,
Yeah.
and let's go.
It's incredible to see the difference in where you were a year ago.
No, I was depressed.
But you
I
were still
was,
funny. Like I was impressed because like you were telling jokes about just disgusting things that were so funny. The morgue stories and stuff like that. That just dark humor, but you were good at telling a joke that you weren't supposed to laugh at, and it made it so funny that I just couldn't help but laugh at it. And you've gotten better, but dude, you started out strong out the gate.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, you got to rise from your ashes and move on to bigger, better things. And I really am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, because I thought my divorce was my rock bottom. But you know what? It was a blessing in disguise. It was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we go through situations in our life, that mold us to who we're supposed to be. You probably, if you hadn't had that 15 years, then you wouldn't be where you are now to even start the career that you're starting. You probably would have never found comedy.
But it was my depression and my rock bottom where I just needed to laugh. And
No, yeah, I mean, and Matt Rife's beautiful too. We can't ignore that. So, you know, you,
yeah, he's not hard on the eyes.
that's how he gets you. He looks pretty, and you're like, "Oh, look at this!" And then he says something absurd, and you can't help but laugh.
Yeah, and my dream is to do a show with him one day. And if you would have asked me 2 years ago what my dream was, I don't think I had one. But now I'm like, you know what? Like, look at all the stuff I've done, and I have goals now. I believe in myself now. I have the motivation, and I've really surprised myself with everything I've done. And I would say now that's my dream, is to do a show with him one day. And I'm probably going to cry. I'm probably going to have a code blue. But that is the ultimate dream right there, is to do a show with my
Well,
idol.
now you know what's going to happen because the last time you were on the show that you said that you were going to meet him, and you did.
Literally a week later.
Right?
Yep.
Definitely. Well, is there anything else that you want to say to the ladies out there, as far as you know, just encouragement or any advice? Maybe advice to if someone say let's say someone just recently been told that they're getting divorced. What kind of advice would you give them to not spiral?
I would say everything happens for a reason, and it's going to be a blessing in disguise. It's going to take time to heal. It's going to be rough for a while, but at the end of the day, rely on your friends and have your friends as the support system, and have your friends cheer you up and have your friends around you, and just keep yourself busy. And remember, it's their loss, and don't let a man make you not feel worthy enough or good enough or pretty enough or skinny enough. If that's how they want to treat you, you're better off by yourself. And that was always my biggest fear, was to be alone. And now I'm like, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm comfortable enough being by myself and just loving myself. And you don't need validation from a man. You need your girlfriends. You need your best friends. I just want to motivate girls to be there for one another and be positive and motivate each other and make each other a better person. Like, if your friend is struggling with something, lift them up. Make them proud, make them feel good, and motivate them to be a better person, whether it's fitness or whatever it is. Just motivate each other and be there for each other, because, like, fuck guys.
Thanks.
Sorry, but you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I get
women
it.
need to, like, be there for each other.
Yeah, no, immature guys are really just it's bad, and there's so many immature guys out there. Even the last time that you were on, we talked a little bit about how guys want to just take you out for coffee instead of actually take you on a real date and be a guy.
Don't
Guys are
ask
that
me about a
way,
coffee date.
right?
I will not waste time on a coffee date. I have dreams to catch, and I have goals to meet.
You better take me to Olive Garden.
Yeah, step it up. Dinner it is,
Right, right.
Like,
No, I agree with you. I don't know. I'm so glad that I don't have to be in the dating scene because I got friends on both sides. I got guy friends and girlfriends alike, and it just seems like dating is just trash. Period. No matter where you're at, because it's hard to find people that want to just be mature and have a life and build together, as opposed to just I guess mess around or whatever they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, I don't need a man. I need my best friend.
there you go.
I would here's my final message. The next time, ladies, a man puts you down, say you wanted to see me fail, and now you can watch me walk away.